The Houston Cougars are the now personification of never give up. You never say die, never ever think that you're out of a game. Certainly when you're going on a 9-0 run in the final 35 seconds of a game. That Duke led, by the way, by 14 with 8:03 to go.
Thanks.
And the only problem for them is they went from the second to last television timeout to the last television timeout, stuck on 59 points. They hit that TV timeout just north of the 8-minute mark, or just south of the 8-minute mark, up 14 with 59 points, and then came out of the last television timeout with the same number of points. They were up by 9 with 3:03 to go when Cooper Flagg hit a 3 to put them up 64-55. Turned out to be the final field goal for Cooper Flagg on the night. He did have a couple of free throws. And one thing after another, a fever dream type sequence for Duke sports fans. Staring a spot in the national championship game on this evening in San Antonio against a Florida Gators team that just outmuscled Auburn in a dynamite Final Four game prior to the game that we're talking about, Houston and Duke. And I just want to, shout out this kid, Walter Clayton Jr. We're going to be talking about this kid and what he's going to be doing tonight against Houston in a few minutes here. But Duke having it all staring him right in the face and just ready to finish this thing off with arguably their best team ever. That's part of the conversation going into this game, certainly going into the final 8 minutes of this game. Is this the best Duke team ever? Cooper Flagg, Jay Billis, who's going to join us first up tomorrow on Tuesday's show to talk about what happens tonight, what shining moment may happen tonight. He called Cooper Flagg the best freshman the Duke basketball program's ever put on the floor. And you could make the case most likable Duke team ever. That's been what's been talked about. Most likable team that Duke's ever put there on the floor. And it just all went crumbling down because they couldn't get an inbounds pass in, because they couldn't make shots, because Houston made their shots, because Houston played tough defense, full court, half court.
Because Cooper Flagg got called for a foul on a free throw that was.
Let's hit that here. Let's hit that here. Let's hit that here. It was, in my estimation, what Bill Raftery and Grant Hill were saying at the time, a play on. That's a play on.
What are we doing?
That's a play on. But had they played on, the ball was in the hands of Houston. Like the ball, when Flagg was called for over the top, the ball went past Flagg into the hands of a Houston Cougar.
He's being hooked, though, on that play.
Flagg was, right?
Yeah, Flagg was.
So that's why it's a play on.
Yeah.
And
the guy who called it was behind the play.
Behind him.
He couldn't even see.
That's correct. I didn't like the call either.
Stupid.
I wish there was no call. Yeah. Had there been no call, Houston would have had the ball.
Right.
Let's just put it that way.
Gotten foul shots.
Let's put it. That's correct. They would have had to go down and execute, which it did appear they would have done because that's the way everything was going with the momentum. But you can't sit here and say that for sure. The only thing I can say for sure is when you go from the 8-minute mark to the 4-minute mark, stuck on 59, you open the door for this sort of stuff to bite you in the ass.
True that.
When you don't inbounds and you turn the ball over.
Can't even get the ball in bounds.
When you leave the same inbounder who's having trouble getting the ball in and you continue to have him inbounding,
when the guy bringing up the ball up the floor is a 50% free throw shooter.
Jeez.
I mean,
they didn't deserve it.
It was one thing after another. And Houston earned it. And that's the problem with that Cooper Flagg call here. Right? That's the problem with this Cooper Flagg call. There's a lot of people are saying that Duke got robbed. Well, they robbed themselves. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And Houston earned it by playing tough defense, making great shots, And then another tough defense in the half court. I mean, Cooper Flagg had his Leitner moment teed up on the final possession of the game for Duke. Other than where they could have gone ahead.
Yeah.
The last possession of the game for Duke was a prayer 3 that flew over the backboard. But, seriously, Duke blew it. Houston earned it. And
bottom line.
And Flagg had his Leitner moment from almost the same spot on the floor in which he made his shot against Kentucky. And that was the most jarring thing. Maybe he was still, couldn't believe he got called for that foul on the over the back. Mm-hmm. And by the way, Duke missed their 1-on-1.
Yep.
Houston made both of their shots on a 1-on-1.
There you go.
But to come up short is got to 1,000,000% leave a bad taste in Flagg's mouth, and sure enough, it did.
Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible season. Incredible people, incredible relationships that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. Didn't end the way we wanted it to, but still an incredible year.
And he's gonna be first overall. You know what?
Oh yeah.
He's going to come back and right the wrong, Brockman. Him and the Boozer twins.
We need to get used to him in a Wizards jersey.
Or
a Sixers jersey.
Or you could start looking at real estate in Utah.
Yeah.
Or that lottery ball can make its way to Philly.
Wow.
God, if you're listening, help.
It's going to go to the Spurs. It's going to be him and Wemby for the next 15 years.
Oh, that's for another day. Isn't he already, there's video of him already hitting balls at a...
Yeah, he was at the driving range yesterday. That's how he let off steam.
Like I said, Chris, 2 seconds after you announced Wemby was gone for the season, I was like, well, wait a minute.
Hold on a second.
But two very worthy 1 seeds are playing for the national championship in the men tonight in San Antonio. The Final Four weekend for the men was exactly what the men's tournament side needed. Certainly over the past few years. And the 1 seeds gave us 2 great games. But, I feel for you Duke fans. That's the professional way to say it. The Michigan Wolverine way to say it is, that's a shame.
See, you're wrong.
That's a shame. Cooper already knows that's my favorite line.
That's a shame.
So good luck to Houston tonight. The Hakeem Olajuwon dream is still alive, as Iron Eagle called it. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.